Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some upgrades to the truck, the tow rig. For those of you who don't know, I have a 2015 Dodge Ram that tows the Vet and the Stealth, but 3 tools and an app, and you can swap in a premium gauge cluster. So you need an OBD2 link, 7mm wrench, and D20 Torx bit. Let's get started. So we're in the truck. Before you pull the gauge cluster, you want to grab a couple pieces of information off of it. You can see this is the standard 3.5 inch instrument panel. Go to vehicle information, and you want to run to engine hour. So I've got 230 idle and 2312 for drive. You can see my odometer there. So we'll be programming all that into the AlphaOBD program. Trip B is my oil change. So 4,500 miles on this oil change, and under vehicle info, you can see how much oil life I've got left. So halfway there to an oil change. So about 5,000 miles I'll have to do an oil change. So let's pull this out. So when it comes to pulling this out, there's 4 T20 screws up here. I like to use a screwdriver. A lot of guys use a ratcheting wrench. So pull these 4 out. Drop this piece here. I'll just pry this top down a little bit and pull her back. You'll see why in a second. There we go. Okay. And then straight back. There we go. That's out. There's 2 tabs. So one right there and right there. They'll pull straight out. I'm going to pull this down so you can clear this area here. Now it's just time to get the gauge cluster out of here. I've got dogs, in case you can't tell. There's hair everywhere. I've never been back in here yet, so we're learning together. There's a 7mm right down here. And a 7mm over on this side. Two 7mm, 4 T20s. Roll this forward a little bit. There's 1 plug in the back. It's tough to reach, but we can grab it here. There we go. And out with the old. There we go. This plug in and of itself, I just push down the top there. She'll pull right back. Clean up in here. Out with the old, in with the new. So take the premium cluster, we'll slide it back in here again. Try not to scratch it up too much. Grab our plug in. Do that first. My watch is going to be too much in the way, so we'll take that off. Probably the hardest part of the entire job is putting this plug back in. There we go. Clipped in. And we'll just slide around in like that. Now you got two 7mm at the bottom, and then the bezel goes back in. Make sure you put it up over the guide pins at the bottom there. On both ends there. There's a guide pin on each end that helps you guide it in. Now these don't take a whole lot of torque. I like to put both in, put it down snug, and then I'll just do a quarter turn. Doesn't take a whole lot. You don't want to break the bezel. Here's the gauge cluster. If you remember it, I don't have 63,000 miles on my truck. So I'll have to program that with OBD2. So you plug in your Bluetooth guy here. We're getting that booted up. We'll walk through the different options here. As you can see, it's plug and play. I'll have to program these. Everything else should be reading just fine. Oil life carried over, which I wasn't aware of, so that's great. So skip, that was part of the instructions. You're this far in the video. Apparently that carries over, which is amazing. Left and right arrows. So, see, the tire pressures are all the same. Such a nice setup here. But AlphaOBD2. Make sure you're connected, which I am already. Make sure I'm grabbing RAM. You want to go to instrument panel, and you want to do 13 plus cluster. This is a 14 cluster. We'll hit connect. Now, what procedure are we going to do? We're going to do the odometer correction first. For the premium cluster, and the mileage is going to be, go back to my photos here, 101,865. We'll hit start. Turn key off for 30 seconds. What this is allowing it to do is it's waiting for all the power to reset. Set. Now we'll click key back on, let it go through the startup checks, and when it's done all of this, which I'm waiting for a gauge bulb light, there it is. We'll hit OK. And now we can see it says started, please wait. We'll let it go through. You can see it flashed a few times. And we can see it's off by 1 mile. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments here to the odometer, but really, really close. 101,864. This is 101,865. We'll go with 101,865.5 and we'll have to adjust it, but pretty darn close there. Now, when you're doing this, you want to let it rest for a few minutes. And we'll go on to the next one. Back connected again. Last piece we're going to do is idle hours. 2:30. Again, same story, wait 30 seconds and away you go.